Any further discussion on number 2?
Yes, I need to read it back to make sure I typed it right. There are multiple case definitions for CFS. It has been pointed out repeatedly at the CFSAC meetings. The CFSAC recommends that the CDC reject the empiric case definition and also reject chronic unwellness. Abandon. Thank you. And everything else remains the same.
Okay. That's fine.
In terms of the discussion, there is a poll that has been out internationally that kind of has probably about 1,000 signatures that really correspond to this motion. So I think there's almost a widespread kind of group of not just scientists but also patients who have looked closely at this empiric case definition and have some concerns with it. And I think that this motion will send, I think, a message to the people who have created it as to how the larger scientific audience and our particular advisory committee feels about it.
Okay. Is there any other discussion?
I think so.
Does anybody want to call the question?
Call the question.
All right. Second? Okay, the question's called. The motion on the floor is that the empiric definition of chronic fatigue be rejected and the term on wellness abandoned, and that the CDC should adopt the case definition that includes both the Canadian consensus, the children's, and the I forgot the name of it. Caputo definition. Okay. All right. No further discussion. I
might add that the Fukuda definition of 1994 was revised in 2003 by Reeves and others. So it's actually the revised definition of the 94 that we're really talking about.
Well, I think we said 94. We said...
So it's just interesting. I wanted to give credit to Bill Reeves for helping revise the case definition.
Well, we're not taking the revised 2003 definition.
Yes, we are. It's the one beyond that we're rejecting.
It's the 2005 empiric case definition that we're rejecting.
All right. Okay. Fine. So,
Chairman.
Yes. Mike?
It was just clarified, yeah.
If you're going to make this recommendation, might it be a stronger one to have a scientific justification or references or something to say why the committee is doing this?
Okay, we can do that.
I think that'd be easy to do.
We can easily do that, and we put Lenny in charge of that.
But we need, I think you're going to need, because the secretary may not know what's going on here. So here's this documentation to show that the definitions we use is better than so-and-so for this reason. The physicians use it, the researchers use it, whatever.
Just, if you look at the number of people who have been using the...
you don't have to convince me, Lenny. I'm just saying that for this,
Yeah, I think that having some rationale makes sense, and I think that could be...
All right.
That's all I'm saying, yeah.
Okay, so we'll take the friendly suggestion that we add justification to the amendment, which will stay the same.
No, thank you.
That's perfect. That's
Okay.
a great idea.
Okay.
Vote.
All those in favor? Opposed? Passed unanimously.
We're going to skip number 3.
Why?
We're skipping number 3 because it was encompassed in number 1. It was about Dr. Reeves' quote in the New York Times.
All right, so we're not going to do number 3.
But we're going to go to the last one.
Last one.
Which is, we recommend that another external review group evaluate the 5-year plan as released in October 2009 by the CDC. We suggest that the experts from the CFSAC be part of this review panel.
I'll second.
Okay.
Do we have a conflict of interest voting when we suggest...
Discussion?
It's a point of information. What is that? Red card.
The committee before recommended a number of people for CDC's expert review panel, some of whom were, at least they said Jim Oleski was listed.
Right.
And I don't think there was a direct conflict, but that would be a determination of CDC. You couldn't just pick up CFSAC and plug it in, but for your specific expertise and reaching beyond to others with expertise
Maybe we
relevant.
could say draw from the experts. Friendly amendment.
Can I just sort of add to, there's been a considerable amount of individuals who have been dissatisfied with the composition of that external review group. And it's absolutely critical to select people on that external review group who do not have any conflict of interest with the CDC research team in Atlanta. And I think that I really hope that there would be some type of dialogue with your office, Mike, concerning how you select an unbiased group of people who can give a fair review, because at least it's the impression of many people within the U.S. scientific community that that was not an unbiased review. And I might add that Gudrun Lang, who was one of the 4 reviewers, had a quote read at this open testimony by Fred Freeberg, where she actually made some extremely critical comments concerning the review process.
Don't you think that information should be part of the recommendation? In other words, the reason why you think you need another panel?
And let me also mention that we, in fact, at the last meeting, did bring the strategic plan to the CFSAC committee and asked for input, and we got none. 0. We did have a couple of individuals respond, but the committee did not respond. So now you want to do it again? I'm just asking.
Mike, just to mention that the 2 members of the research subcommittee wrote a report to you.
That's what I said. Other individuals did, but the committee itself did not.
Can I?
What
the
committee?
committee
I'm
was
sorry.
supposed to, and then we were told that we
I think that
couldn't.
the committee as a whole is not good. We do rely on the subcommittees, and I think they speak for the committee as a
We were
whole.
told we had to do it individually. We weren't allowed to do it as committees.
It was brought into the CFSAC meeting, and there was time for dialogue or discussion, but then the formal plans for follow-up, yes, CFSAC is not advisory to CDC, so CFSAC could not act as an advisor to CDC in that capacity, but the individuals on the committee were still invited, because you're still experts in your own right to provide feedback. And I think, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that what you're saying? I want to understand.
We had 2 individuals that did respond.
Wait.
I thought we already discussed that the 5-year plan, that what we wanted before was more emphasis on certain parts of the plan. Didn't we already discuss that?
For priority, you mean?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been discussed.
In another recommendation.
At this
I'm not
meeting,
sure what
brought up.
I'm not sure what this recommendation is about then.
Reread it. Who's got it proposed?
I'll tell you what it's about. Have you read the 5-year plan?
Yes.
Okay. We were concerned that the 5-year plan that we ended up with isn't what we expected it to be. And while we were supposed to have an opportunity to dialogue with you, when we left this meeting, we were going to schedule a meeting to discuss it with you. And then we don't advise the CDC, so we couldn't have that meeting. So we officially couldn't give you feedback because we found out after the fact that we couldn't do what we planned on doing. But individuals could.
That's right.
And I know I personally wrote you and you responded, but and Nancy wrote. I mean, some of us took it upon ourselves to write you, and as committee chairs and as individuals. But
well, the reason I bring it up is because it just said the external review. You'd like another external review of the 5-year plan, and the CFSAC committee would do it or something? I mean, I don't know what that recommendation is.
That we'd like another external review of the 5-year plan with drawing from the CFSAC committee experts.
I'm sorry. I thought that, and I had it wrong, I thought we were asking them that we didn't accept as for a number of reasons the 5-year plan. I thought we were talking about reviewing the new 5-year plan.
We're asking for one more review of the plan with experts.
So,
is there something specific in the 5-year plan that you want changed?
I think there is.
Well, then I think that we need to be more specific than just saying redo it.
Here's the thing, Morris. In a sense, it's only been within the last week that we've actually seen the details of this plan listed. It's very hard within a very short period of time for us to think through all the issues. Now, I can just let you know the research subcommittee, when we looked at it,